In a world where everyone is constantly connected, surrounded by notifications, messages, and social noise, it's strange how invisible loneliness has become. Friendship is everywhere. Photos, stories, group chats, inside jokes. It looks effortless from the outside. But for some people, friendship isn't something they're choosing to ignore. It's something that simply isn't there. Today, we're stepping into that quiet reality. The space where friendship is missing, but emotions are not. Where life continues, days pass, responsibilities exist, yet the feeling of being unseen quietly follows you everywhere. What does it actually do to a person when they live without friends? Not for a week, not during a busy phase, but for years. For many, the idea of being alone feels unbearable. Silence feels heavy. Empty rooms feel loud. Yet there are people who wake up every day without a single close connection. Not because they hate people, not because they're incapable of socializing, but because somewhere along the way, connections stopped forming. They're not loners by identity. They're not hiding from the world. They simply exist on the outside of social circles, watching life happen without being invited into it. Psychologically, humans are not designed for isolation. Social connection isn't a luxury. It's a core need. Just like food and safety, connection keeps the mind regulated and the nervous system balanced. When it's missing, the effects go deeper than most people realize. People without friends often carry a quiet belief that something is wrong with them. Not loudly, not consciously, but subtly. A feeling of being forgettable, replaceable, invisible. Over time, that belief settles into the mind and starts shaping identity. You start questioning yourself. Why do others connect so easily? Why do conversations feel forced? Why do relationships fade before they begin? You watch people laugh in groups, share moments, make plans, and you wonder how you keep ending up on the outside. For many, this experience isn't about being antisocial. It's about feeling unchosen. When exclusion happens repeatedly, the brain internalizes it. You don't just lack friends. You begin to lack belonging. Psychologists describe this as social exclusion, and the brain reacts to it in a powerful way. Studies show that loneliness activates the same regions of the brain associated with physical pain. In other words, being socially isolated literally hurts. The mind interprets it as a threat to survival. And this pain doesn't start in adulthood. It often begins early. Childhood and teenage friendships shape how we see ourselves. They teach us where we fit. Without them, many people grow up feeling socially uncertain, emotionally guarded, and unsure of their place in the world. As time passes, the effects compound. Adults without close friendships face higher levels of anxiety, depression, and emotional fatigue. In older age, social isolation is linked to physical decline, weakened immunity, and cognitive deterioration. Friendship is not optional. It's protective. But here's the part we rarely talk about. Inside this silence, there is something else forming. Strength. Solitude, when prolonged, forces a confrontation with the self. When no one is there to distract you, validate you, or define you, you are left with your own thoughts, your fears, your values, your identity. People who spend long periods alone often develop deep self-reliance. They learn how to regulate their emotions without external reassurance. They become observers, thinkers, reflective in ways others never need to be. Without constant social noise, creativity often grows. Ideas sharpen, inner worlds expand. Many people discover talents, interests, and ambitions not because they were encouraged, but because they had the space to listen to themselves. History is filled with individuals who spent long stretches alone, not because they rejected society, but because solitude allowed them to understand life more deeply. Isolation became a workshop, a place where ideas were forged. People without friends often build an internal stability that doesn't depend on approval. They don't chase validation. They don't rely on being liked to feel real. Their sense of self comes from within, and that kind of foundation is rare. There's a dangerous misconception that having no friends means something is broken. Sometimes it means boundaries are strong, standards are high, shallow connections are refused. In a world obsessed with attention, Choosing depth over popularity is an act of quiet courage. Solitude teaches patience, teaches clarity, teaches emotional control. And most importantly, it teaches that your worth isn't measured by how many people surround you, but by how well you understand yourself. People who walk alone aren't weak. Many are becoming something stronger. They are building themselves without an audience. And when they eventually choose to connect, they do so intentionally, carefully, with depth. Their bonds are fewer but stronger. Their presence is quieter, but more grounded. Some people walk together. Others walk alone. And sometimes, the ones who walk alone walk the farthest. If this resonated with you, you're not invisible here. We see you, and we want to know your perspective. Do you believe solitude strengthens a person, or does it leave a lasting scar? Can loneliness shape growth, or does it always wound? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this made you think differently, subscribe. We explore the psychology most people avoid. Like the video so others can find it. And if you want to connect with minds like yours, join the community linked below. This isn't just content, it's a way of seeing the world.